Welcome to the March 2nd, 2020 Frankfort Village Board meeting. We call this meeting to order, and we ask our clerk, Brian Feary, to call the roll, please.
Mayor Howland?
Here.
Trustee Borelli?
Here.
Trustee Clavio?
Here.
Trustee Farina?
Here.
Trustee Ogle?
Here.
Trustee Petro?
Here.
Trustee Severia?
Here.
Village Clerk is here. Attorney Lamore? Police Chief Barica? Village Administrator Pisha?
Here.
Assistant Administrator Cook?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, the very first thing on our agenda this evening is certainly a delightful thing to talk about. It is titled, Lincoln Way East Varsity Cheer Team Wins State Championship Proclamation. And this board wants to recognize this fine group of athletes, and so what we have is a proclamation that we're going to read and then present to these young people. The cheer team captured the first place in the Illinois High School Association Large Team Division State Cheerleading Finals on February 8th in Bloomington. It's the second straight state championship and the fifth in the past 7 years for the Griffin cheerleaders. So congratulations, and at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the proclamation recognizing these athletes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Ogle and a second by Trustee Petro. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, there you go, ladies. See, it got approved, too. That proclamation. Now, what I'd like to do is have all of these athletes join me up at the podium, and I'm going to read this proclamation. And, of course, the coach, Jason Polat, is here. I would like him to come up to the podium. And Julianne, I understand, is home doing her work at home. So we certainly recognize the coaches here, too, who have coached this team for 8 years. And remember, it's 5 out of 7 of the last 7 years. These ladies have won the state championship, so there's some fine coaching going on here too. But ladies, if you'll join me at the podium, I'm going to bring this proclamation up. Now let's see, how can this work here? Maybe if you come around on the other side of the podium, because there are quite a few of you. Now, how's that? Then they can figure out how they want to work the camera on the TV, you know. That's a lot of what we do here. But before these people got into high school, most of them were in the programs with the Wildcats or the Falcons. These are what we call your homegrown for us. These aren't so much of traveling teams or other special coaching. You are our daughters who have succeeded so well and represent our community so well. And it is with pleasure that I get to read this proclamation. And it states, whereas on February 8, 2020, the Lincoln Way East Varsity Cheer Team won the Illinois High School Association Competitive Cheerleading State Championship in Bloomington, Illinois. And whereas this talented team of student athletes captured the large team state title for the 5th time in the past 7 seasons, 2014, 15, 17, 19, and 20. And whereas this hard-working team received a score of 94.96, the best out of all other schools competing in the large team division. And whereas this is the Griffins' 14th trip to state in the 15-year history of the IHSA State Series. Whereas co-head coaches Jason and Julianne Polad, assistant coaches Rachel Rodriguez, Jen Steffen, Madison Enright, and Ryan Hossman, choreographer Derek Rammel, tumbling coach Joe Jaworski, athletic director Mark Vanderkoy, principal Dr. Sharon Mahalik, superintendent Dr. R. Scott Tingley, and the faculty and student body of Lincoln Way East High School are justly proud of the varsity cheer team's accomplishments. And whereas the exemplary 24 team members of the Lincoln Way East Griffins are Peyton Anderson, Emma Barnard, Sophia Barnard, Riley Bolsoni, Kylan Boundas, Chloe Brokop, Jacqueline Brown, Emily Caruso, Alexis Ciccarello, Riley Feary, Chloe Friend, Tiffany Gurgley, Alyssa Goodman, Carly Kalchbrenner, Grace Carana, Devin Mangan, Leah Ortiz, Adam Paul, Carolyn Roney, Alexis Salvaggio, Sophia Sladik, Sarah Toussaint, Ava Wise, and Julia Zelenica. Did I do all right on those? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the village president and board of trustees of the village of Frankfort, Will and Cook counties, along with the good people of the village of Frankfort, officially recognize and honor the Lincoln Way East varsity cheer team for their outstanding achievement in winning the Illinois IHSA 2020 Competitive Cheerleading State Championship. So, congratulations to all of you. Now, if you would, just show us a little bit of your skills. You don't have to do your whole routine, but maybe you could show us a little bit of what makes you this state champions. And we're going to move this machine here first. Thanks, Rob.
Which way should they face, Mayor? Does it
Well, that's a
matter?
good question. They should face the audience.
Yeah, the camera's that way.
Yeah, we can do the camera anyway, but let's face the audience. They're here. We're making up a new routine right now.
2468, did we appreciate it? Simple code.
He's making a whole new routine.
Let's go 2468.
It's unbelievable.
I want to see him pull it off, right? Watch the chance.
All right. Dan, hold your teeth.
Hey, the police officers want to try that.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's much more fun than a plan commission.
It is more fun, the plan commission.
Can we do that every meeting?
Yeah. And thank you again, ladies, for being here, and certainly don't feel that you have to stay. I realize you have very important things to do in your lives, and our meeting might not be at the top of the list. But we do appreciate you being here tonight, and thanks for being here. We'll go on with our meeting. Next item on our agenda is what we call the unanimous consent agenda. All items on the unanimous consent agenda are considered routine in nature and will be voted on after a single motion. Can you hear in the audience? You cannot hear? Can you hear now? Okay, I want you to be able to hear, of course. And let's see, if any of the trustees want to discuss any of those items in more detail, we'll just remove that item from the consent agenda. So I first asked, do the trustees want to remove any items from the consent agenda? Not hearing of any items, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. So moved. Second. We have a motion by Trustee Ogle and a second by Trustee Farina to approve the consent agenda. We do want the people here in the boardroom and the people at home on television and on the internet to know something about the items that we'll be voting on, so we'll go over each one of them just briefly. First item is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting of February 3rd. The second item is the approval of the bills, and we'll go to the chairperson of our Finance Committee, Trustee Borelli, for a report on those bills.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The bills tonight are pretty routine. They total $464,010.24. Notably, there's $58,515.72 for road salt, and everything else is relatively routine. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Adam. And then we have an item from the Plan Commission. We'll go to Trustee Clavio for a report on that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight's item is kind of exciting. It shows that there are successes in town, especially Frankfort. The applicant, Gavin Ware, who's with Method Athletics, has requested a special use permit for 704 Center Road. That address may sound familiar to a lot of you because he's currently operating at 706 Center Road within the Laraway Center Commercial Development. He operates a physical therapy clinic and personal training facility. The applicant proposes to expand into the adjacent unit located at 704 Center Road and seeks the granting of the special use permits for the indoor recreation and entertainment and extended hours of operation with a 5 a.m. opening to accommodate the proposed expansion. At the February 13, 2020 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 2 unanimous 5-0 recommendations to the Village Board to approve the special use request. So before us tonight, Mr. Mayor, is to accept the Plan Commission recommendations, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting special use permits for indoor recreation and entertainment and extended hours of operation of 5 a.m. opening to permit the operation of Method Athletics located at 704 Center Road in accordance with reviewed plans and public testimony and conditioned upon the overhead door along the northern facade of the building remaining closed until 7 a.m. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, John. And then we have a resolution to approve an application for some STP funding, and we will go to Trustee Petro for a report on that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. During its annual evaluation of roadway conditions, the Village of Frankfort has determined that there is a need to rehabilitate the pavement along St. Francis Road from LaGrange Road to 88th Avenue within the next 5 years. And it is estimated to cost a total of $1,030,650 to resurface this portion of St. Francis Road. There is currently a call for projects from the Will County Governmental League as part of their local surface transportation program, or known as STP, for the federal fiscal year 2021 through 2025. So large project resurfacing is eligible for funding under STP, and as such, the Village of Frankfort is seeking federal funding through the Will County Government League in the amount of $824,520, or 80% federal share. In order to secure federal STP funding of local highway improvements, the Village of Frankfort is required under WCGL policies to acknowledge that the Village of Frankfort has sufficient funds for the local match of $206,130, or 20%. Tonight's resolution acknowledges this commitment for local match funding if the Village of Frankfort were to be approved to receive the STP funds for the St. Francis Road resurfacing. So before us is to adopt a resolution subject to securing federal STP funds through the WGCL. The Village of Frankfort hereby acknowledges their intent to allocate the sum of $206,130 in funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. And those are all of the items on tonight's consent agenda. So before we vote on those items, is there anyone in the audience who wanted to speak to the village board about any of those specific items? Hearing none, any questions or comments from the trustees? Then we'll go to our clerk, Brian Feary, for the vote.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Yogle?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Severia?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli? Trustee Clavio?
Yes.
And that
Motion
brings us to the part of our meeting that's called Mayor's Report. And the first item on the Mayor's Report is a swearing-in ceremony for Patrol Officer Kametas. Now, many of our residents have heard this before, and our residents voted on an issue back not last November, but the November before, to increase their taxes, to increase the sales taxes in the village from 7% to 8%. And we stated that we were going to use that money to hire more officers, to increase our police force by 15% from 28 to 33 officers. Well, that's part of what's been happening over the last year and a half, is we have been in the process of hiring, and we still are. Hiring and training of police officers is a time-consuming event, but they're so important to the people of our community, and we have such a great police force, and some of it is because of the training they receive, and Officer Kametas now has completed all of that training, including the so-called, I don't know what you call it, on-the-job training, but it's riding with some of our more experienced officers who are, frankly, critical of him the whole as he's learning, and they're showing him the ropes, and he's expected to understand our community, not just all these laws of the state of Illinois and all the things police officers are expected to do nowadays. You know, they have to be psychiatrists, they have to be mental health workers, they have to be, all of them are trained in first aid. They carry defibrillators, which are very important to people of my age in our community. And it's quite a job, and it's pretty amazing what we expect of our police officers and how well they do in our community. So, Officer Kametas, if you would join me at the podium, and please bring your family up too. Dimitrios, thank you. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for letting us use your husband. We appreciate it. And who's this? Josephine. Hi, welcome. And are you parents then? Father Nick, Mother Jeanette. And Reen. Excellent. Well, I have a couple of comments, and we have to be close to this microphone. That's part of the game here, that, or else it doesn't, you can't hear it on the television. And what's important in this society but television. But Jim, and I understand you go by Jim sometimes.
Yeah, it's easier.
That's easier.
Full
Well, I
name's
kind of
Dimitri,
like Dimitrios, so
You're more than welcome.
that's what you're going to get from me.
Sounds good.
He received a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from St. Xavier University in 2010. Prior to joining the Frankfort Police Department, Officer Kametas attended the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy at College of DuPage in 2015 and worked as a police officer in Evergreen Park and Hometown, along with armed security at Christ Hospital. He now lives, let's just say, nearby with his wife, Reem, and they are expecting their first child, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I also understand that you played basketball in high school and college.
I did.
That's
Yeah.
very impressive,
I know I don't
especially
look
when
it,
you're just
but-
about my height, you know. That's
Point guard.
well, you must have been very talented.
Very nimble. You know.
Perhaps there are some park district programs and such around here that maybe our police officers should have a basketball team, and we could have a ringer now. That
Sounds
would
good.
be-
That's it.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun. Well, for the oath of office, I ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then state your name,
I, Dmitri Kametas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold
that I will uphold
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of patrol officer
the duties of patrol officer
for the Village of Frankfort
for the Village of Frankfort
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
You're in.
Thank you. I did it.
And I do have, let's see, how does this work? See?
Oh, that's very
Back
fancy.
here, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you
Thank
should
you,
have
sir.
one of those.
Thank you.
And we welcome you to Frankfort. We're thrilled that you're here. We hope that you will find our community the kind of place where you want to be a police officer, and
Yes.
we hope you stay for a whole career.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Thank you again for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to the family. Police work involves the whole family. There's no question about it. And I know you can have concerns, but you've got a lot of support here, too, from others who are going to be watching out for him, too.
For sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the mayor's report is the annual Homeowners Association meeting is scheduled. This is a meeting for people who are interested in homeowners associations, people who might like to be on a board of a homeowners association, and certainly all board members of homeowners associations in the village of Frankfort. We would invite all of them to attend a meeting on March 9th. That's a week from tonight at 7 p.m. in this building. The meeting will feature updates on village and park district issues of interest to homeowners associations and a presentation by Jamie Viebach of the Conservation Foundation on the topic of pond maintenance, which is a topic of interest to many of our homeowners associations. Census 2020 is coming. That's a very important issue for local governments. There are literally $675 billion in federal funds that are distributed based on population. And in the village of Illinois, our our motor fuel tax money, our income tax money that's shared from the state of Illinois is based on population. If we undercount, we will not get as much money from these other agencies as we normally get. So most of our residents will receive something in the mail that will tell them they can just fill it out and mail it back in. And it's as simple as that. If you don't, then somebody's going to knock on your door or call. That's the idea. And I think we should. We should all want to be counted and fill out that information accurately. It's right in the Constitution of the United States that there must be a census every 10 years. Applications for committee appointments are now available. Those need to be turned in by April 3rd. That's a Friday. And these are the committees that include everything from the Police and Fire Commission to Plan Commission to an operations committee that looks at the equipment and such that we buy. And we appreciate residents being on these committees and being willing to meet periodically with the trustees and talk about does this make sense for our community? And it's frankly where we do most of our discussing. And remember that anybody's welcome to come to our committee meetings and speak up. All the agendas for the meetings are posted on the internet and posted on the front door here at Village Hall. You can find an application for committees and a brief description of the committees on Live Government Village Committees under villageoffrankfort.com at that website. And that concludes the mayor's report. And we'll go to our police chief, John Barica, for the police department report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations again to the Lincoln Way cheerleaders. I've been able to see them a few times at some of their competitions over the years, and they are flawless almost every time that they compete. So congratulations to them, the coaches, and their parents who put in a lot of time, I know, to get them to that level. I'd also like to say congratulations to Dimitrios Kametas. Again, we now don't swear them in until after they complete the probationary period, so we've been able to see a little bit of him, and he's been great throughout his time here so far, a little bit over a year. Look forward to a long career. He's really done a good job for us, and I think he will represent the police department very well during that career. And speaking of new officers, we are still taking applications for police officers through March 10th. You can go online. It is on the website, our website, or at theblueline.com. Look up Frankfort, and it will send you to a link, and you apply online for that. But we hope to get a lot of people come in for our next test. We will be hiring some officers. I remind people to, if they see something, say something. Again, we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, looking for things and people to call us if there's a problem or an issue. Call us at any time, 815-485-2500. It's not an emergency. And of course, if it's an emergency, call 911. And of course, finally, lock your doors, take your keys and key fobs inside. Make sure your garage doors are down at night. That's all I have.
Thanks, John. And now for the village administrator's report, we go to our village administrator, Rob Pisha.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Be a little redundant here. Also want to congratulate Officer Kametas on completing probation. You know, that's a very important stage in an officer's career to get past that point, and congratulations to him, and from my understanding, he's doing very well for our department. Also, again, congratulations to the Linkaway cheer team. It is amazing to think about the fact of having them get 5 championships in the last 7 years, and they continue to win it, and it's 2 in a row. And the nice part about it is always seems that the schools are doing so well, both academically and in their sports. So just congratulations to everyone. Just to dovetail, Mr. Mayor, on what you talked about, the issue with the census coming up. Just want to remind residents that if a census taker does come to your house, there's important things to know and protect yourselves against. And a Census Bureau worker will never ask you for things such as a Social Security number, should never ask for a donation, anything to do with a political party, bank or credit card accounts, and there is no citizenship question on the census itself. They should also have a photo ID with them that it has a U.S. Department of Commerce watermark. So please make sure that as you're talking to people, we just ask you to protect yourselves and just be aware that you're actually talking to a census worker. And then finally, just want to remind residents that we have a public meeting before our homeowners meeting next Monday. We have it at 5 o'clock here at the Village Hall, and that's just a public meeting on the proposed bike trail on Sauk Trail, and just wanted to let people weigh in and see what potentially is being proposed. That's the end of my report.
Well, thank you, Rob. And now for the village attorney's report, we go to our village attorney, Hannah Lamore.
No report tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. And that brings us to the part of our meeting we call Other Business, and this evening we'll start with our clerk, Brian Feary.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just a reminder, the Village of Frankfort kicked off early voting today. Early voting for the Village of Frankfort today totaled 62 people came in to vote. Those who wish to vote early can do so from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Monday through Friday until March 13th at the Village Administration Building here. So come and vote. Also, my daughter was on that team. I'm so proud of all those girls. That Lincoln Way East has those cheerleaders. They steal my heart every time I see them. Those young ladies and young men do such an incredible job, and they're such great athletes. And I'm just really proud of my daughter. She's a senior, so this is it for her. And it just kind of it's tough to have it end all these years through Falcons and all this stuff. So, thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, Brian. Trustee Clavio.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was absent last meeting when Village Clerk Vaheri was sworn in, so congratulations and welcome to the team. Glad to have you on board. Congratulations to the cheerleaders as well, and Officer Kametas. It'll be good to have him on board. Public service announcement, 2 things. This weekend we changed clocks. You may have heard that many states are voting to get rid of daylight savings time. It was approved but not finalized, so we do still have to change our clocks this Saturday night. And the other public service announcement is regarding the census. I was at a seminar recently where, they tell everybody don't answer your doors for strangers, so on and so forth, and how that will affect the census. You can apply and do your entire census online, and if you complete it timely, no one will bother you at your house. So there's a public service announcement to get it done timely and get it done online. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, John. Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It definitely warmed my heart to see all the cheerleaders tonight as well. Just a great opportunity. We were just so blessed in our community. We celebrated the Lincoln Way football state champions. Now we're celebrating our Lincoln Way East cheerleading champions. And I'm just always so encouraged and just leave with a big smile on my face when we're celebrating our youth. I did hear that there was actually 2 of the athletes that had won 3 state champions in that group tonight. So it's really just amazing work. And a little birdie told me that it was one of the most winningest coaches in Lincoln Way history in regards to state championships as well. And I've had the pleasure of actually having Jason coach me as a cheerleader way many years ago. So I'm glad he's made his way down to Frankfort, and we've had the pleasure of seeing these young athletes perform the way that they have. Also, congratulations and welcome to Officer Kametas. very exciting that we have a new police officer that's out and helping with our force. And I also just want to thank you, Chief, for your commitment to the 9 p.m. routine. You guys have not missed a day. You're out there with lots of different social media and tactics and really encouraging that. And I feel like it's spreading like wildfire. I hear people talking about it, so great work on that. Nice tips with all the census. Thank you. And also encourage people to come out and see the Sauk Trail Bike Path Extension on was it right before our meeting on the 9th? Absolutely. We love the public input and having an opportunity to see what's out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Trustee Severia.
Guess I'll say ditto to Officer Kametas and the Linkway East cheerleaders, and congratulations, Brian. And then also, if people are interested in getting involved in the community, I encourage you to come out and apply to the committees, right? So that's all I have.
Thanks, Gene. Trustee Farina.
Thank you, Mayor Holland. Again, ditto to the cheerleaders. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dad, Brian Ferry. That's exciting for you. Also, I want to congratulate Officer Kametas. Welcome to the police force, and also Frankfort. We love having new officers here. And then finally, Around the World is an event that is March 12th that will be held at Hickory Creek. This is an event that the Family School Partnership hosts. It's a great event because it celebrates cultures from around the world. There'll be parents representing 30 different countries there and sharing information and background on their heritage and nationalities. So it's a fabulous event. All are welcome from the community. It's again 5:30, March 12th at Hickory Creek School. And also there'll be food trucks there too, so you can come with a hungry appetite and have dinner that evening. I think they're going to have falafel, and they'll have some tacos and a bunch of different things. So it's a great event, and Chris Wolf is the chair. She's done it for a long time. She's very proud of this event, and she's done a great job showcasing diversity and culture in our community. So kudos to her too. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret, and thanks for bringing that up. That is a wonderful event.
It's a fabulous event.
It's very, very interesting, and it's our local residents putting it on, and you're surprised at how diverse we are.
Yes.
In Frankfort, and what an interesting group of people we have here. So thanks for bringing that up. Trustee Ogle.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quick, again, congratulations and welcome to Officer Kametas. We have been trying to increase our police force, and we've got some great people that have come on, and we're very excited about that, and there are more to come. There's a new eligibility list that's being created, and we certainly would encourage anybody that is interested in becoming an officer here in Frankfort to apply. And if you know someone that might be interested in another community, certainly we'd love to have them here. Congratulations again to our state champ, Lincoln Way East Varsity cheerleaders. Tremendous athletes. It's fantastic to watch them. Last year they almost flew right into the fan. I thought they might grab the mayor this year and make him a flyer when he was out there, but tremendous. We're very excited for him. To piggyback on this Sunday is daylight savings time. 2 o'clock in the morning. I won't be up for that, so I set my clock, the ones that are not automatically set anymore, on Saturday night. But also would encourage people to, when you do that, they kind of recommend that you check some other things. Check the batteries or replace them in your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. But also, if you have a weather radio, which as we're heading into spring, that's a good thing to have. We tend to have tornadoes out here in the Midwest, and some severe weather pops up real quick, but you also may want to check and replace the batteries in your flashlight, just so you have some emergency things. And Dobry Wieczór, today is Pulaski Day, Kazimierz Pulaski, so our Polish friends. He was a Polish born, but he's an American Revolutionary War hero. He is known as the father of the American cavalry. And he was a hero for us and helped get this country broken away from the British back in the day. So congratulations to all our Polish friends here who live in Frankfort. And that's all I have for tonight, other than make sure you stay calm, don't panic, and wash your hands. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith. Trustee Borelli.
Yeah, maybe that'll get my kids to wash their hands more. I don't know. I gotta get the fear of coronavirus into them, I guess. I don't know. I think, going last and having this great village board, I think everything's been covered tonight, so I just echo all those sentiments. A couple notes, the Around the World event is fantastic, and I believe there's gonna be a pierogi truck as well. So, yeah, so in case you were on the edge, that should put you over. Trustee Petro mentioned the Sauk Trail Bike Path meeting on March 9th at 5 p.m. If you can't make it, please submit your comments at least. Those comments go into an application, and the more comments we have, the better chances it has of going through. So please, if you're in support of that project, please submit your comments. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Adam. And that brings us to the part of our meeting we call public comments. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment to the village board tonight? Not hearing any, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned.